Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. This demonstration will cover some skills for drawing and shading the mouth, specifically the lips. We'll be taking a look at some key structures that the lips are composed of so we can be very observant artists. As you watch, remember that all people are different, so you'll have to adapt these structures to suit the form of the lips you are drawing. First, I'd like to sketch a quick profile view of the mouth and lips so we can look at how light affects the mouth. The person's head in this photo I'm using is turned away slightly, so we can see the philtrum just above the upper lip. I'll shade some general, middle, and low-key values so you can see the different planes on the mouth. When we draw people, the lighting is usually coming from above, unless we have an unusual lighting setup. Now, over here to the side, I'm drawing the different planes of the lower part of the head. Here's the top and bottom of the nose, the area above the upper lip, and then the upper lip. Then we have the bottom lip, which faces slightly up, the space under the bottom lip that angles back down, the top of the chin, and the bottom of the chin. Okay, so with our light source coming from above, we have light hitting most directly on all of these planes that are facing up. The bridge of the nose, the space above the upper lip, the bottom lip, and the upper part of the chin are all getting light. That means all of these areas, the bottom of the nose, the upper lip, the space just below the bottom lip, and the bottom part of the chin are all in shadow. This is really simplifying it, but it helps to understand these basic areas of planar value when we're drawing the mouth. I like to start by lightly drawing a horizontal line first and indicating the corners of the mouth. Next, I draw what's called the Cupid's bow. That's the little V-shaped area on top of the upper lip. Now I'll sketch in the sides. In my photo reference, it curves up and then down slightly as it reaches the corners of the mouth. Next, I draw the tubercle. That's that bump in the middle of the upper lip that's often noticeable on people. And I'll just finish up these edges that have a little curve on them. Now the bottom lip is really defined by this shadow area underneath it in the center here. And I'll finish with these edges of the lip that come out from the corners of the mouth. And I'll darken a few lines so they show up for you here. And I almost forgot to add this section called the philtrum. This is the trough shape between the nose and the upper lip. Now I'll add some quick shading here for the upper lip, which is in shadow, the corners of the mouth, and the philtrum. And I'll darken the part between the lips. I'm using an ebony pencil, and for quick sketches I like to blend using a piece of just ordinary paper towel. My light source here is coming from the upper left, so all the forms facing up are getting most of the light, but the left side is catching a little light as well, while the bottom and right side of everything is in shadow. Over here in the corner I'll bring some shading above the lip. I'll darken in the part between the lips and work on this other corner. It's a little darker since it's slightly in shadow on this side. And I'll shade this dip called the philtrum. On the upper lip, I'm using linear strokes that aim toward the center of the mouth. It helps me create some texture of the wrinkles in the lips. There's a little shadow on the right side of the tubercle, and there's actually a little reflected light just on the bottom of the upper lip bouncing back into it, so it's a little lighter there. And there's a slight cast shadow across the bottom lip. Now the bottom lip is slightly curved, so there's this plane that's facing me that's just a bit darker. So you can see the highlight above it there. I'm using these cross contour strokes again for the bottom lip to help show some texture. Right here in the center is this furrow or dip where the space between two muscle groups curve up and into the mouth. It gets very dark right here in this area. You really don't need to put a complete outline to the corners of the mouth. Now I'll shade a little above the upper lip to finish this sketch. You can probably see how I'm leaving a lighter rim just above the edge of the lip. This ridge is sometimes called the white roll, and it's this area between the colored part of the lips and the skin. I'll darken the part between the lips a little more, and it's done. Now let's take a look at the common structures we see in the lips. The philtrum is this indentation that stretches from the nose to the upper lip. It's concave, so it catches some light on one side and the other is in shadow. The Cupid's bow is this V shape at the top of the upper lip. It's actually part of this lighter area between the colored part, sometimes called the vermilion of the lip, and the regular skin of the face. The tubercle is this projection or bump in the middle of the upper lip. And this area is called the mentolabial furrow. Yeah, that's a long name to try to remember, but it's the key to defining the lower lip. It's this place where two groups of muscles curl up into the lip and create this groove that's usually in shadow. It's really important to look for these structures when we draw portraits, but we also have to remember that they will show up more or less depending on who we're drawing, since everyone is different. I'm going to show you that in 3 different sketches of lips that are all different. I'll speed up the video a lot here to save time. The corners of the mouth for this drawing curve down a little, so I start with a curved line instead of a straight line. This set of lips is very thin. In fact, the upper lip is just this very thin area of shadow. You can really see the Cupid's bow. It's a bit wider here in this drawing. And the mentolabial furrow under the lower lip stands out too. In this next drawing, the lips are much fuller. The Cupid's bow is a little smaller. I can see the tubercle, but it doesn't influence the part between the upper and lower lip that much. It's still a fairly straight line. That furrow under the lower lip creates a really flat area, maybe even curves up just a little bit. In this drawing, I start with a line that curves up slightly. The woman that I'm drawing here has a subtle Mona Lisa smile, so the corners of the mouth curve up just a bit. Her lips have a lot of angles. They're very geometric. The Cupid's bow and the philtrum are very pronounced. Okay, so even though all mouths are different, knowing what structures to look for will help us see them and draw them much more accurately. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and decide to join me for more demonstrations. Have a blessed day.